All right, Shalom. I want to start off as always by giving our praises and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim, Racha HaKodash. Divine is unto the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone. I want to send much love unto the brothers out there doing his work in truth and sincerity, and also want to send peace and blessings unto the believers of the hopeful elect. And in this lesson, I wanted to do an overview of two videos that I have concerning prophecy, and of course, get a few precepts here and there. And Lord willing, this is edifying. All right, shouldn't be too long, but it is some very important information, man, concerning the MOTB, concerning the crackdown on so-called free speech, bringing in digital IDs and everything else, bro, to just fully establish that MOTB system. And in this first video here, with this interview done by Tucker Carlson with Catherine Fitz, in the first couple of minutes of this interview, man, she pretty much breaks down the MOTB system. All right, she explains it beautifully. And so I just want to share this here with you brothers and sisters out there. Not sure if you've seen this video already, but if not, you can go watch the whole thing on Tucker Carlson YouTube channel. Very good interview. All right, but I just wanted to deal with the first couple of minutes here, and then I'll move on to my next vid, and then I'll close out. So make sure my audio here is good. Okay, audio is good there. All right, here we go.
So thank you for doing this. I know you worked on this for years, but you get the sense, if you're just a sort of aware person, that there is a concerted attempt by governments around the world to digitize commerce and to digitize currency and to basically control people through money.
Correct.
That's correct. Okay, so that was my first question. Is this happening? Am I imagining it?
It's absolutely happening. And what's important to understand, it's been happening for a long time. In other words, this is like an invisible corral that they've been building around you for a long, long time. Because how do a few sneak up on the many? Well, you have to do it very quietly and visibly before you throw the trap.
Smart.
So essentially what they're building, because it's converting a currency system into a control system. So it's really the end of currency. And what they're doing is they've been building the different digital pieces. And when it integrates and comes together, then you literally have a digital concentration camp. It's complete and utter control.
Otherwise known as the world.
Here's the thing to understand. You and I grew up in a world where there was mass media, where you were pitching stories, so you had 57 varieties of ice cream and you're pitching them to 57 different niches, but you're still pitching to mass audiences. What we're talking about is a system where you can surveil, control, and influence one person at a time. And with AI and software, each person can have their custom surveillance, influence, nudging, and control system.
And punishment.
Yes.
That's going to be the MOTB. In order for these devils to have that type of power, they're going to have to implement that CHIP to where they can control each individual, track each individual with that CHIP. All right? Brother, this is some powerful information. Okay? And we done heard, multiple interviews and videos concerning this MOTB system, but I just love the thing that she's saying here in this clip, man, because she's pretty much breaking down how this thing gonna go. And then she also spoke about how pretty much these elites behind the scenes have been pretty much setting up building blocks to get to the point where we're at now, man. All right, behind the scenes, setting up this MOTB infrastructure, and eventually that great reset is going to come, man. And they're going to reset this system, and everything's going to be digitized. Everything's going to be digitized. All right. And if you want to function in society and still partake in, going grocery shopping and working and all these things, you're going to have to submit to that system. Plain and simple. This is what the Holy Bible tells us, right? So she's spot on, man. Here we go.
Enforcement.
Because ultimately, if you control money, you can starve people to death. You can kill them.
Right. So go back and think of the pandemic. So if I say you can't go more than a mile from your home, and I say you have to be mandated a pharmaceutical, then if you don't take the pharmaceutical, I can turn off your money. If you go more than a mile away from your home, your money and your credit cards won't work. So if, whatever rules I lay down, there's a wonderful example. The head of the Bank of International Settlements is the central bank of central banks. And it's been running the process to implement basically an all digital monetary system. And they have innovation hubs all over the world. They've been running this process for a long time. And in 2020, when the pandemic started, or it was October 2020, so the pandemic was underway, the general manager of the Bank of International Settlements was on an IMF panel. And in 1 minute, it's the first time in my life I ever saw a central banker tell the truth. I fell off my chair. And he said, the beauty of this is we can set the rules on how your money works, and we have the technology to enforce them. And what
that they're going to set the rules on how you can use your money. That is the MOTB system, man. Brothers, I'm telling you, bro, this interview is so fire, bro. One of the best interviews I've seen in a couple months, explaining the MOTB system. She's doing it. All right. She's doing it, man. And the video that she's referring to, I've seen it multiple times. I've played it multiple times, of the fat guy at the IMF meeting. He's a part of the IMF. And he pretty much said, look, we'll be able to track everything. We, know what you guys are doing. And pretty much, if you don't bend the knee to what they want, they can just shut you out. That's the MOTB system, bro. All right? So this is very powerful.
What he was saying is literally from one place in, anywhere in the world where the technology exists, you can track each person individually. You can set a complex list of rules, like legislation, regulation, and administrative policy, and you can enforce them all with the technology, with AI and software. So have you ever seen, there's a wonderful movie called The Lives of Others about the German Stasi and surveillance. It's about a group of artists and sort of creative, talented people who are under surveillance by the German Stasi. And you see what it's like to be under surveillance for 24/7. Think of each one of us. We're all under surveillance, not just by governments, but by corporations who are trying to do something. And it may not be anything nefarious. So 80 different companies are trying to sell you something, or 80 different companies are trying to get your data for some reason. And so they have AI and software bots that track you and follow you and learn from you and try and influence what you do, because they're trying to extract some kind of value from you. And literally think of, being attacked by a swarm of bees. We're surrounded now by a swarm of AI software bots, all trying to learn from us, extract something from us, or get us to do something. Now, when you go to an all digital system, then there's no escape. And then they can start literally to enforce rules. They do now. So
what are the manifestations of this that maybe we're not paying attention to or don't perceive for what they are?
So look at what they did to the Canadian truckers. We don't like what you're doing. We cut off your money, and we cut off your friends' money. And if people help you, we cut off their money too. So I've known so many different people around the country who've been debanked. We just got legislation passed in Tennessee that a bank over a certain size couldn't debank someone for political or religious reasons. And you're one of the things that's happening.
There's no such federal law.
Not that I know of, but I haven't looked. I've been working with the states because ultimately the one power currently under the Constitution in the United States that can stop this, the powers not delegated to the federal government by the states are reserved to the states. In other words, the states are technically more powerful than the federal government. And under the Constitution, they have the power to override the federal government on many different issues, including healthcare. And so one of the tensions we see in America is more and more there is a debate between the feds and the states about who has what power. So we've seen a lot of the conservative AGs and treasurers pushing back in a wonderful way, in a marvelous way. The challenge they have is this, and this was said to me by a senator in Northern Ohio. Northern Ohio has one of the best groups of sort of freedom-fighting legislators in the country. And as you probably know, because you know Montana, it's very beautiful.
All right, so I want to pause it there, okay? But she pretty much exposed the plans of the elites, which we already know, through scriptures, but as the scriptures say, their own tongue shall fall upon them. And you better believe Esau is working day and night trying to set up this MOTB system. They pretty much got everything in place, but they're working on something, bro. Okay? And eventually society gonna change, as we've been saying for the longest. All right, and to the elites, this is the perfect plan for them. Okay, this is the perfect plan to set up a digital prison, and now we can take full control of everybody's life, or at least everybody who's a part of society, right? We can change. I mean, we can do what we want to do with you. And with them bringing in this digital system, bro, is going to stop people who make, side hustles, right? Who get under the table money, mechanics and plumbers, who get, side hustle money. That's going to stop. No more dollar bills, no more cash. This is where we're heading. And so she did a beautiful job, man, explaining what these elites are trying to do. A beautiful job. All right. This whole interview is fire. Okay, but them first couple of minutes, bro, she pretty much laid it out. And all the world governments are working to bring forth a digital system. They're all on board. Okay, so it's only a matter of time, bro. It's only a matter of time, Akim. Just keep fighting, keep pushing out there, man. It's only a matter of time before things change. Keep in mind, in October, right? The UK, according to their, I think it was the Prime Minister or somebody who said it, that woman, she was like, in October, we're going to bring out our I think she said the CBDCs. Yeah, the digital ID is one of them. I forget. But in October, they said, we're going to bring out these digital currencies. So that's going to happen this year, okay? In which I got a video about the UK next, but these devils are really pushing hard, man. They're pushing hard to get this MOTB system up and running. And they're going to have to do something major to bring this great change to everybody's lives, because they're trying to change everything across all governments, okay? And establish, those sustainable development goals, okay? To completely change your society unto what they say how life should be. How much food you can eat, what you can buy, what you can't buy, how much medicine you need to take, are you, vaccinated, so on and so forth, man. So they're working hard to get it, get it started, bro. And she did a good job explaining that. So going here to Psalm 64, NLT Bible, right? One of my favorite chapters here, especially in the NLT. It says, "Oh God, listen to my complaint, protect my life from my enemies' threats." And that MOTB system is a threat from the enemy, because through that system, bro, they're going to have total control over your life. That's if you want to function in society, bro. And I'm pretty sure they have plans for individuals who won't get down with the system. I'm sure they got plans, okay? Probably round you up, maybe even unalive you, man. But they understand that they're going to meet some resistance, okay? But Esau knows, okay, I have to do something to make the people want to get this system, right? Probably like affect some food or whatever, water. He going to do something major that's going to have the people begging to get that MOTB just so they can get back to normal life, okay? He calls it all. What's that cause, we don't know. But they got something planned. It says, hide me from the plots of this evil mob, from this gang of wrongdoers. Those are the elites, man, okay? Klaus Schwab is just a face, right? Donald Trump is just a face. All of them people you see all the time, they're just faces. Putin, they're all just faces being used, okay? These elites, man, these top banking families, that's the evil mob. And they're plotting to set up this system for total control, man. Total control, okay? It's not a secret anymore. Once it goes digital, that's it, brother. That's it for every damn thing. You have no say-so. It says, they sharpen their tongues like swords and aim their bitter words like arrows. They shoot from the ambush. They shoot from ambush at the innocent, attacking suddenly and fearlessly. They encourage each other to do evil and plan how to set their traps in secret. Who will ever notice, they ask. As they plot their crimes, they say, we have devised the perfect plan. Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning. And to them, that MOTB is the perfect plan to give them total control, to track your money, to track your food consumption, to track your traveling, track everything about you pretty much, okay? Klaus Schwab said that this fourth industrial revolution is going to change us and our DNA, our genetic makeup. Now think about that. What do Esau have that's going to change someone's DNA, change their genetic makeup? What he going to do? He going to try to hook you up to some damn robots or some crazy AI crap, man. This is wild, all right? But this is the devil, man, okay? But they're going to fail, right? And verse 7 says that, but the Most High himself will shoot them with his arrows, suddenly striking them down. The Lord going to destroy them and their plans, ultimately, right? Ultimately, okay? But this interview, very good interview, man. The first couple of minutes, fire. And the last video here is from GB News. This is Patrick Christie's. Is this the end of free speech in Britain? All right. And over in the UK, man, they got some very draconian laws on the book, man, that they're trying to implement and pretty much control people's speech. But This is happening in the UK, man. You know, you got brothers over there, bro, you know, who go out to the highways and byways and teach, man. And eventually, they won't be able to go out and speak. That's going to come here too. All right. But over there in the UK and their parliament, they mean business. Like when they do something, bro, they now we implement this right now. Okay. Like they come out and tell their people, we're going to do this to y'all. It's like, shit, they can't do nothing about it. So free speech is under attack over in the UK, man. This will come to America. All right. Don't get it twisted, bro. The Lord prophesied by the famine of the word coming. That's going to come to pass. So I'll play this video here. Let him say his 2 cents here. And I get a precept and close out. So here we go.
Government and Ofcom, our so-called independent media regulator, have just unveiled a set of sweeping new rules under the Online Safety Act. These rules are being dressed up as a way to protect our children from the nastier corners of the web. But let's be honest, what we're looking at is nothing short of a digital revolution, a fundamental shift in the relationship between you, your children, and the internet. Hi, I'm Patrick Christie's, and this is GBN Originals. What's actually happening, why it is happening, and crucially, what does it mean for you, your family, and the very concept of free speech in this country? Those are the questions I'm going to hopefully answer for you now. Ofcom has just published a draft code of practice, 40 new measures in total. These rules are set to come into force on July 25th, and they apply to pretty much every major online service that you can think of. Social media, gaming, search engines. If a platform has more than 7 million monthly active users in the UK, it's in the firing line. The main headline here is mandatory age verification. So that means if you want to use these platforms, you'll have to prove how old you are, not just a box you tick saying, yes, I'm over 18. We're talking about highly effective age assurance. So that could mean uploading a copy of your passport, your driver's license, maybe even a biometric scan. In other words, the government wants to know exactly who you are before you're allowed to access the digital world. If a
See that? That's how crazy life finna get, Doc. That's how crazy things finna get. There will be no more just hopping on the internet, you know, and just freely, oh, you know, I'm finna go to YouTube. No. Verify yourself. Now, how they gonna do it? We don't know. But we do know that they got digital IDs that they want to implement and pretty much push out. But it's gonna get to a point to where you're gonna have to verify yourself, bro, so they can know who you are. And it makes it easier to track you down. All right. Now, they can track you down, you know, using your digital footprint, but they will need to get a hold of your cell phone and your other devices. With this digital ID, they ain't got to check your phone. They ain't got to check your computer. They're going to know what you pressed. Every link, everything that you click on, they're going to know it. So there will be no need for the FBI or the police to come and take your cell phone or take your computer. Once you get that digital ID, they're going to know everything that you clicked on, what you watched, everything. Okay, but they're going to make these people starting July 25th, make the UK public start verifying themselves before they get on the internet. This is what they're saying. How old are you? Who are you? Okay. This shit gonna come to Babylon, bro. Bro, these things are happening fast, man. In the UK, they're moving fast in the UK, bro. They're trying to push the digital IDs in the UK. They're trying to bring out digital currencies, right? In the UK in October. Guess who's gonna follow a suit? America. This is serious, man. Here we go.
The platform uses algorithms to recommend content, and let's face it, almost all of them do. Then those algorithms must be programmed to suppress anything Ofcom deems harmful, and that is going to be a very slippery slope. But at face value, it includes content relating to suicide, self-harm, eating disorders, pornography, misogyny, violent content, and online bullying. But I think we can all see how they could extend that beyond those particular measures and really use that to stifle any.
Right. What you think about our videos? What are they gonna say? Oh yeah, no, yeah, you can't watch that. You can't watch that. They're gonna take it down. You better get the word while you can, bro. You better get this word while you can, bro. If you think they're gonna just let our videos stay online saying what we're saying, no, sir. You won't have, bro, you won't even have access to what we're saying. This, bro, like what we're doing is considered, misogyny and hatred and, terroristic and all these things, right? So there will be no more going to a Hebrew Israelite video very soon. They talking crazy. You can't watch that. It sounds like a game or a joke, but this is how serious it's going to get. That change about to come, bro. Their reset is about to come. And bro, Esau moving fast, bro. July 25th, this shit gonna start happening in the UK. You got brothers over there, man. So I'm intrigued by how this shit gonna turn out, like how it's gonna play out, man. With them brothers doing the work over there. With them brothers, putting up videos. All of this gonna, have some kind of effect to it, bro. But more details will come out, about what they're trying to do, but making them verify themselves on the internet, bro. Okay, before they go to certain websites, that's crazy. That's crazy, bro. But this is how serious things gonna get, man. Here we go.
For anyone who might have a view on things like, I don't know, illegal immigration. Now, I want to be absolutely clear. Nobody wants children exposed to genuinely dangerous material. But this is a sledgehammer to crack a nut. And as we'll see, the consequences go far beyond protecting kids. Let's talk about the massive elephant in the room, that digital ID. Because make no mistake, that's where this is heading. If you have to prove your age.
Digital ID. Yes, sir. That's where it's going to come to. We don't know who you are, bro. Who are you? Take this digital ID so that we can know who you are and verify who you are on this internet. And then if you do something crazy, we'll know exactly who you are. Instead of being incognito or being anonymous, we don't know who this account is, who is Jerry Carroll 17 or Billy Bob 12. Who is that? They don't know. But with a digital ID, you got your specific, number that's solely for you, your fingerprint, your eye scan, whatever it may be, right, for your verification process. But they're going to know that it's you looking at videos, or this is you watching a certain porn site, or this is you watching this. Oh, you watching the Hebrew Israelites? Oh yeah, okay, yeah, he a terrorist. He's a crazy extremist person. Go lock him up. Do you remember the Purge movie? Right, the very first Purge movie that they made. And you had that Northern Kingdom chick and her daughter, right? Her daughter was watching them videos of the so-called resistance, right? She watching them videos. What they do? They sent troops to her house to take her and her mom, okay? Because she watching them videos. So it just won't be hell on us brothers who preaching the scriptures, man. It's going to be hell on you listeners too. They know that you're watching the videos, bro. They know you, bro, okay? You ain't just going, unscathed. No, they know exactly who you are. So with knowing this, brother, it's best that you take this truth as serious as possible. Repent, correct your wrongs, fast if you have to grow in the inward man. This road's going to get very bumpy. It's going to get very uncomfortable. Palms going to get sweaty. Things going to get heated. Doors going to get kicked in. A lot of blaming and finger pointing going to be going on. And, brothers not down with it no more. And, pulling out at the last minute. Bro, you finna see so much shit happen. Watch. Just watch. Jake finna renege. Like, hell no, bro. I ain't finna go through this. Hell no, bro. I'll see y'all in the kingdom anyway. Right? It's crazy, but you're gonna have that shit going down, man. Guys who were on the highways and byways, yelling loud as hell. When the squeeze come, Jake said, hell no, I'm finna go. I can't do this, bro. I got kids to take care of. And a woman at home who need me. So I'm gonna go ahead on and do what Esau say to do. Here we go.
Age to access the internet was to stop that system being used to track everything you do online. In fact, some would say we already really are, aren't we? What's to stop it being linked to your bank account, your medical records, your voting history?
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you.
Privacy campaigners have been warning about this for years. They call it function creep, a system brought in for one purpose, slowly expanded until it covers every aspect of your life. Remember, these rules don't just apply to children. If you are an adult, you'll still have to jump through the same hoops. The government is effectively saying, prove who you are, or you can't use the internet. That is a fundamental shift in the way our society...
You see that? Prove who you are, or you can't use the internet. That's crazy. But it's going to get to that level, brothers. So they're going to pretty much force you to take the digital IDs, to accept it. It's going to be linked to your bank account, to your medical records, your driver's license. Everything about you will be connected to the digital IDs. Matter of fact, that is the number one thing on the Sustainable Development Goals. It's the digital IDs linked with your bank account. I'll prove it to you. If you think I'm playing games, right? This is real, boy. The change for the come, player. Whether you like it or not, whether you ready or not, it's finna go down. Where we at? Global Digital Compact. Hold up. Is that the right one I wanted? Where is it? DPI. That's not it. Damn, they changed the the platform. Last time I seen it. Yeah, this is some new stuff on here. Huh. Okay, devil. Okay. They changed it around. Let's see here. Let me type in SDG. SDG. Well, it already goes. I tell you, boy. They changed this thing up. It's all good. I'll find it. I had to find it off camera. But in those SDGs, they have them in there. So I'll find it. Don't worry about it. But the point being is that that's going to be in there. Okay, so like you, I'll just find it on the side. But here we go.
Society works. And again, do you not think this could be used for bad? So it starts like this, and then before you know it, you might be restricted from accessing certain websites during a time of national crisis, or during a pandemic, or during a war, or during whatever, some kind of national emergency. They can massively clamp down there on internet usage and track you if you break those government-approved rules. Now let's talk about these algorithms, shall we? Ofcom says platforms must suppress harmful content. Who decides what counts as harmful? Is it just the obvious stuff, graphic violence, explicit extreme pornography, that kind of thing? Or could it include political opinions, satire, or even news stories that challenge the official narrative? Again, I'll drag you back towards what happened during the pandemic there, where everyone was terrified of commenting on some stuff to do with the vaccines. Everyone was terrified of commenting about certain things to do with the lockdown, questioning the science. And so much of that science has now changed. We've already seen how the definition of harmful can be stretched to include misinformation, hate speech, or anything that can cause offence. The danger is that these rules become a tool for censorship, silencing voices that don't fit the approved script. Now, let's not forget the penalties. So if platforms don't comply, they face fines of up to £18 million or 10% of their global revenue, whichever is higher. So for a company like Meta or Google, that's billions of pounds, isn't it? Billions of pounds. Do you really think they'll risk that kind of money to defend your right to freedom of speech? Well, of course not. They'll err on the side of caution, deleting anything that might possibly fall foul of the rules. And do you think this is a coincidence? Mark Zuckerberg, head of Facebook, Elon Musk, of course, now owning X. Both of them have said that recently they are going to row back from censorship. They're going to row back from that, what many people would regard as hyper woke left-wing censorship of anything that didn't fit their narrative. So if they're not going to do it themselves, here we go, right on time, someone's going to try and do it for them. So for some companies, even these draconian measures don't go far enough. The NSPCC, one of the UK's leading children's charities, is already calling for Ofcom to go further, especially to weaken end-to-end encryption in messaging apps. Well, look, let's be clear what that means. End-to-end encryption is what keeps your private messages private. Now, if Ofcom gets its way, they could force companies like WhatsApp and Signal to build backdoors into their systems, allowing the authorities to read your messages. It's not just a threat to privacy, it's a threat to democracy itself. And again, is there not a better way of maintaining child safety than this? And the making sure that every single person's phone is basically accessible to the government or to the police. I personally think there must be a better way than making every single person suffer for the sake of this. It is an important issue.
Yeah, they're going to do it. It's a part of the plan. Okay, it's a part of the plan, bro. So these regulations and censorships, man, it's gonna bring the family of the word, bro. They're gonna take it off the internet completely. A time is coming to where we won't be on the highways and byways. Serious, like it's gonna get that serious, bro. Don't you gotta get this word right now, bro. Get the word right now. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. This is a serious, serious thing, man. The UK gonna do this July 25th. Okay, July 25th. They're bringing in these regulations, and they're gonna make certain individuals verify themselves before they go to certain websites. Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, said the Lord God, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water. For water, but the hearing of the words of the Lord. And not just the hearing of the word, but the understanding, really, the understanding of this word. And you get the understanding through the prophets. But guess what? The prophets ain't going to be available. If you can't watch the videos and, ain't no camps going on, then guess what? You're going to have to go out what you already know. And your faith at that time, okay? It says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So, this is serious, man. Okay, this is serious. Hey, look, bro. That change is gonna come. That great reset gonna hit hard, man. All we gotta do, bro, just hope that the Lord have mercy. See, that's all we can do, you know. But I'm gonna close out with that, man. I pray that was edifying. I'll praise you. How about you, Mama Shai? Shalom.